Yo guys, so I just wanted to give you a few updates with how training has been going, just because I haven't really been giving you many updates recently. It's been going pretty well overall, with the exception of the fact that I low key did have a minor tear in my lat on my left side, actually during this deadlift session. Um, Admittedly, I was like pretty sore. I had some overlapping soreness, some DOMs, but it was nothing that I wasn't used to. But it's something that I shouldn't have trained through. I probably should have backed off a little bit with the relative intensities. But like, it wasn't with the deadlifts. It was with like barbell rows. But this is like the fastest that a 585 has ever moved on a pause deadlift. So I was really happy about that. Really surprised. I felt really beat up coming into this. This was like one of the last workouts before my overreaching week. Um, I mean, this is one of my last workouts on my overreaching week before my deload. Um, but I mean, technique's been looks great. I've been getting much stronger, feeling much more like my normal self. Happy with how technique has been feeling, but. Basically, yeah. After this, I took a deload. It was one much needed, very very nice, and I just recently started a new training cycle. This is actually a PR on bench press, 300 for three on a bench for a pause. A little bit quick on some of the pauses, but nothing I'm not too concerned about. But yeah, it's really awesome seeing that things have started to really take off with my training. I think a lot of it has just to do with I'm actually eating more. I'm currently 180 pounds. Still very very lean, as you guys can probably tell if you follow me on Instagram. This is more or less where I like to chill. I was really bloated for like a good 3-4 weeks. On my surplus up to 180. Like, so just a lot of extracellular, subcutaneous, under the skin water retention. It was kind of messing with me mentally. But it seems like just this week, after my deload, once I've started training again, the water retention has subsided. And I'm kind of just seeing like the tissue gain being permanent. And just training performance has been just through the roof. Things have been feeling great. I'm getting amazing pumps. Um, I was a little bit did have some overlapping soreness coming into this training session, so I didn't immediately go up to as heavy as I probably could have. So I kind of just ramped up RPE and the weights as I felt good, and as I felt like I could do, because everything was moving pretty well. I ended up doing 245 for my last set of 5 on incline bench. Um, but yeah, overall, training has been going well. I'm doing well. My lat is healing. It's feeling much better. I was able to do my working weight with much better form, and basically be able to do overhead pulling, which is what seems to aggravate my lat most, and some straight leg deadlifts without really any pain, like probably 2 or 3 out of 10 pain at most. But I wanted to discuss in this video something that I've kind of learned from talking with Dr. Eric Helms in my recent podcast, and something that has just to do with volume and intention. I've seen a lot of people that use volume as a crux or a compensation for having poor technique, poor attention to detail with their reps. And what I mean by that is that um, lots of times people are not training with proper technique, full range of motion, and really paying attention to the details. And I think people like to work hard. They like to feel like they're doing a lot in the gym. And so they'll just assign so much volume and not have intention behind their reps. And that's something that I found with my clients is that once they come to me in my programs, I usually will have them really pay attention to their technique and their form, because I find that that is just super super huge for most people. lots of times and this is something I've noticed myself anecdotally and with my clients, is when you really pay attention to your technique and your movement efficiency, and placing tension on the muscles properly, not forcing your eccentrics, like rushing through them, controlling every single part of it, really feeling that squeeze, have a good internal cueing. So basically, that mind muscle connection. Um, you see new gains kind of again, and progress is really really good. And not only that, you can typically, like, you don't feel as systemically just tired and beat up. Like, you're actually feeling like your muscles working. It's not just your joints. Um, so there's been a lot of debate going on about how much volume do you really need, and for most people, I found that between 10 to 20 sets per muscle group seems to be the sweet spot. And I found that for most people, they should probably start off at 10 and make sure they can do 10 quality sets, and then analyze progress as they go forward. Only make adjustments when you have to, when things are not going good, when you're not making progress at at whatever rate that you should based off of your level of training development. Lots of times in weight training, we kind of get caught up in this whole idea that somehow we need to constantly be chasing better, when sometimes just, any sort of progress is really good. And if you're seeing great results, if you feel good, if you are, making quantifiable progress and objective progress towards your goals, there's no need to change things. And sometimes changing things and adding these extra variables can actually derail your progress entirely. I know that for like Steffi Cohen, for example, she had a really really great deadlift training block going, and everything was really really good. And then she changed something just because she had this mindset that, oh, well, if I try something else, things will be better. And she noticed that her progress kind of stopped. It wasn't as good, and then she kind of just came back to what she was doing again, and it just started working. So pay attention to your variables, to your responses. Create your training plan based off of logic and structure instead of emotions. Use science to guide your training decisions, but also understand that there's a power of anecdote. And that's what true evidence-based training and fitness is. It's doing things with intention, and a reason behind it, instead of just because you want to. Remember that the truly dedicated athletes do what they must instead of what they really want to. So focus on those big rocks, and on making progress, and aligning your training goals properly. So that's kind of in just my rambly video. But anyways, things are going well. You guys are doing okay too. If you guys are interested in coaching or programs, AdamPeterFitness.com. I do have availability. And anyways, catch you guys in the next one.